My serious question today was the exact title of an article in Psychology Today, written by a doctor, a psychologist, who said that the shame for mass shootings should be felt by us, society. And since we don't feel it, we're not doing what we need to do in the way of gun control or treating the mentally insane, la-di-la-di-la-di. Can I just say, I could not disagree more. I mean, I'm doing this now because we've had all these mass shootings. Just a couple of weeks ago, again, we had the Uber driver in Kalamazoo killing people in between customers. I mean, goodness, how do you understand that? Well, let me tell you this about shame. All those shootings, Sandy Hook in Colorado, go through the list, all the colleges. I don't feel a drop of shame for any one of those. And that's pretty amazing because I think I have more shame than anybody. I mean, I have so much shame that literally I get up every day and I want to cry. And even as a Christian, I feel that, but I do have that promise and hope that, man, someday I'm going to be with God in heaven and that shame and everything bad is going to be gone. Till then, I got to deal with it. But back to the point, I don't feel a drop of shame for what any of those mass shooters did. Now, we got Sandy Hook. That one did more to damage my, oh man, just brought so much pain to me because he used an AR-15. I've got an AR-15. And the thing about it is, what you may not even realize is the damage that that gun can do to a body is incredible. But hear me, he didn't have to have an AR-15. That just showed you the level of evil this guy was involved with. He could have taken a .22 pistol in there, you know, doesn't hold that many bullets and just keep changing the cartridge and just continue shooting. A .22 will do as much, as good of a job killing someone as a big assault rifle. So he could have done just the damage in the time that he had, killed just as many. But then we spend all of our time about gun control or the mentally insane. Here's my point. That stuff, we can talk about it, but the real problem here with the mass shooters, evil. It's evil. And I promise you this, you'll never have a government study. No money will go to a grant to study evil. Not going to happen because you see, that's a spiritual thing. And who wants to go there in a secular society? Another article from the Huffington Post, which was written right after the Colorado shooting, honest to goodness, you can Google this if you don't believe it. The title of the article was, "Stop Calling the Colorado Shooter Evil." And his point was, number one, it gets us away from the real issue, which is gun control. And even bigger, what are we going to do about evil? There's nothing we can do. And he even described evil in ways that I fully agree with. He had a good handle of that, but just didn't want to deal with the word at all. That's all we need to deal with. That's the reason for this. You see, I'm a gun owner, but I will never be a mass shooter because I don't have that evil rolling through me. The evil is the problem, but we can't talk about it. Allow me to be just preachy for a moment. I would beg our government or get a bunch of atheists together. I don't care who it is. It could be as biased as you want to make it. But here's the statement I want to make. You can go into churches throughout our country, and I promise you they are loaded with people who will give a testimony. They will give facts at how at one time in their life they were involved in such evil, they had such evil hearts, they were on an evil highway, you could say. But because of Jesus Christ and their relationship with Him, they've been taken away from that. And now they're experiencing the love and the joy and the peace and the goodness that comes with that relationship with Jesus. And they will testify to that. Now, are they perfect? No. They got shame like I do. They still have sin. They still have struggles. And just like me, until they go to heaven and meet God, we're still going to struggle every single day. But they have gotten off that evil path and they can testify to that. But you'll never hear that in a study, of course, because, again, we are a secular society. We don't want to talk about those things. So that's my sermon. And by the way, one other side note, and you'll probably say, gosh, he's a Christian saying that? Yeah, it's this. One of the problems with the mass shooters that I see is that, like the doctor said, we should feel the shame. I actually believe the shooters should feel the shame. And the reason they're able to do what they do is because they have no shame. I watched the trial of that Colorado shooter, you know, the orange jumpsuit. That guy didn't have any shame. And our system is not going to create that. But that's what we need to do. So here's my idea, as ugly as it may seem. I think we ought to put up public jail cells. Have a hallway that goes through, allow only adults to go in. So you have a mass shooter like this, they should put him in a jail cell, strip him naked, has nothing on. Tie his arms up so he can't hide him to any part of his privacy. And allow the public who's been so outraged for what he's done, give it the chance to walk through there and say anything to that character they want to say. I may be wrong, but I just think a little shame would be coming to the person at that point. Because I tell you this, all the future mass shooters that watched that trial of the Colorado shooter, they saw nothing that would discourage them. They saw much of what would encourage them. He was in fine shape, he was nothing embarrassing, nothing shameful, and had national headlines. What could be better? So, sorry for the preachiness, but I'm telling you right now, evil is the reason for the mass shootings. And you know what? Christianity, I'm sorry to say, is the one group that has a message to deal with that. By the way, if you want to give me an offering, I'll take it.